Hello and welcome to Herald TV News at 3 with me, Tasleem. Tension prevailed in Velsau Pale as RVNL personnel descended at the Velsau level crossing and trespassed into private properties to conduct a land survey in the area. Villagers accompanied by Goinso Ekvot members questioned the RVNL personnel about the purpose of the survey, who remained mum.
Villagers and Goinso Ekwood stopped RVNN personnel from trespassing into private properties at Velsau. The RVNN personnel descended at Velsau level crossing and trespassed into private properties to conduct land survey in the area. After confrontation by the Sarpanch, the RVNL personnel admitted that they had come to survey the area of railway double tracking.
Today there was confrontation in the village of Velsau, wherein RVNL along with some surveyors had come to conduct the survey at the railway crossing. Behind me lies the area where you can see this is the traditional right of way which has been used for generations by the villagers. And there are several houses which have vehicles like cars, motorcycles, and as one can see it is a beaten path which is also being used as footpath. This particular area was left by our ancestors in their wisdom when the railroad was being constructed in 1890s, so that the local villagers could have means to enter their residencies. As one can see, most of these residences dating in the 1890s and beyond were all facing the railway tracks. In fact, prior to the railway track, this was a track for the horse carriages, for people to take their goods by bullock carts and stuff like that. But now railways are trying to claim that this land belongs to them.
Kiran Borkar for Herald TV.
After the collapse of mining, Goa seems to be heavily dependent on tourism to boost its economy. But how much of tourism is good for Goa? The residents of Panjim heritage area between Saint Thome Fontaines and Mala are facing the brunt of Instagram tourism. Listen to them voice their grievances and what they expect from tourists on a program. Point counterpoint on Herald TV and YouTube.
The Goa dilemma. How much of tourism is good tourism? The residents of Panjim heritage area between Saint Thome, Fontaines and Mala are facing the brunt of Instagram tourism. What are the grievances of the residents of the heritage area vis-a-vis the tourists?
The COVID phase, there was a lot of people who normally travel for heritage tourism, couldn't find places to go, and this became an opportunity. Initially, we started seeing a lot of young people with their families coming over here to Fontaines area, and they were enjoying the spaces which were there. Simultaneously, also something else happened, and that was a tourism that is driven by Instagram and all the social media, where people were getting themselves photographed at all other locations. So we have got both this kind of tourism that is now seen in Fontaines and all the other heritage areas of.
Tourists are of all kinds. There are like it was mentioned earlier. The whole Instagram and TikTok era that actually started during the pandemic. That's when people started photographing themselves, not knowing what else to do.
Tipping point started somewhere once the pandemic, the first lockdown ended. Then you saw a totally different profile of tourists come in, someone who was Instagram friendly. Right. Basically, there was no respect for privacy coming in, and we experience it within our own establishments. We have a building which has a access through the outside, and even after putting signs, please check before you can approach, people would just go up and do that. So yeah, I think this the movement of so many people, to go back to the history of tourism in Fontaines, I've been working here 20 years. We basically started as something as a backpacker thing promoted by the Lonely Planet and Rough Guide and those ilk. So you had these foreigners who would come and stay for 1-2 days, and then there would be conservation people who would be interested. And then it evolved over a period of time till it came to this, with what you call the Instagram age and the internet age, people want to be at one particular location or 5-6 particular locations, and they don't give a damn what, they just want that shot and they want to put it up. So it's definitely affecting efforts for conservation.
Right from the morning, 6:37, there are tourists already on the roads before even the people wake up here.
Right.
They have come for photo shoots and for this. The problem is you can do your photo shoots, but you cannot be intruding into the private spaces.
Bureau Report, Herald TV.
Would you believe it? The Tiracol Kerry ferry was stranded in the middle of the Tiracol River due to shortage of diesel in the afternoon. As a result, the lives of 10 passengers were in danger. The 10 passengers and a tempo with cooking gas were all towed safely to Kerry side through a rescue operation by Captain of Ports, Coastal Police and villagers by 5 p.m. The ferry staff said that the ferry is old and therefore they did not get an indication that the fuel was over, nor were they carrying spare fuel on the ferry. The ferry was, however, back in service only at 8 p.m. after they got the diesel.
Tiracol ferry stranded in midstream after running out of diesel. 10 passengers and a tempo with cooking gas were on the ferry. Luckily, the captain of port staff, coastal police and villagers came to the rescue. They safely towed the ferry to the Kerry side to everyone's relief.
फेरी बंद पडलेली खंय अडीचा कितल्यांक सुमार ते
अडीचाची ट्रीप स्टार्ट जाली मोदें पावल्या बरोबर फेरी बोट बंद पडली
आणि मागीर ती व्हांवून गेली खंय
व्हांवून गेली म्हणजे आमी मागीर एंकर उडयलो म्हणजे आमचे प्रोटेक्शन ते फेरी सेफ करपाचे लास्ट हत्यार
ओके
ते हत्यारा प्रमाणे आमची फेरी थंय खडपाक लागून तो एंकर चॉक जाला थंयच्यान फेरी उरली लो टायड आसलो तेका
बरोबर
आणि मागीर आमी खूब प्रयत्न करून काय अल्टरनेट आमचे कडेन काय नासले डिझल इंजिनाक पावनासले सप्लाय जायनासले
बरोबर
त्या नंतर आमी ते फेरी कशी करून कोस्टा काडपाक ट्राय केली दोरयो दिल्यो लोकां कडेन आनी त्या म्हणसर आमचो एंकर येनासलो जेन्ना एंकर ओल्ड एंकर आसलो तो ओल्ड एंकर म्हणजे तेजे पळय फिटिंग्स आसलेले ते ओल्ड आसलेले तितून जे एक सेकल म्हणटा पळय ते तुटले आनी एंकर सुटलो एंकर उरलो दर्यात आनी मागीर आमी दोरयेचेर ओडून घेतली आनी सारकी सेफ सायड अशी फेरीबोट हाडून लायली हे पोजिशनार
ओके
वी कॅन टेक दीस पोजिशन हांगा हाडून लायले मागीर एक आहलेली सिलिंडराची हांगा साकून ती सायडी वयताली ती हांगा हाडून आमी परती रिटर्न गेली मागीर
ओके
चार कितें हे आसलेले
कितल्यांक सुमार डिझेल घातल्यात मागीर
आत्ता येयला 8 पावणे 8 येयला डिझल 400 आमी ते आतां टाकयेन घातले आनी परती इमिजिएटली तेजो आमी म्हणटा ते वॅक्यूम जाता न्हू म्हणजे एअर वारो जाता म्हणटा आमी तो वारो काडलो आनी स्टार्ट केली इमिजिएटली मागीर आमी पयली ट्रीप मारली
आता पहिली ट्रीप मारल्या बरोबर कितले पॅसेंजर कितले आसले मागीर तितून
केन्ना
जेन्ना तुमी अडीचांक सुमार बंद पडले तेन्ना व्हांवून गेले तेन्ना
ते आसलेले 5-6 जाण आसलेले
मागीर तांकां कशें
टू व्हिलर
मागीर तांकां लोकांक कशें तुमी ड्रॉप केल्यात मागीर
खंयसर तेका पुलिशेची आमची हे येयली कितें कोस्टल ह्या आहा गार्ड काय ना तेंच्यांनी येयले 2 लेडीज आसलेल्यो आनी 2-3 जाण पॅसेंजर आसले
पण डिझेल काबार जाता किंवा डिझेल सोंपपाचें आसा कितें कळना म्हणटा
कळटा बरोबर कळटा पूण जे टाकयेन उरता तेजे तुका एक्चुअली दाखयता एक बॉटम आसता न्हू बॉटमा कडेन ते फिटिंग्स आसल्या कारणान ते दाखयता इवन 250चेर सुद्दां ते दाखयता कित्याक तेजे फिटिंग्स होल आसता तो इंजिन हेजो गेजीचो तो सकयल उरता आनी फिटिंग्स वयर रावता त्या कारणान फिटिंग्सान साकून तुका दाखयना अशें आहा ते बारीक टॅक्निकल मिस्टेक आसता ती कोण बारीकशे लक्ष कोण वचना तेंच्यांनी कोण पळय तेजे अधिकारी आसता तेंच्यांनी बारीक नोट करून ते सारकी टॅक्निकल मिस्टेक सर्टिफाय करून जाय
पण ते अडीचा उपरांत ते आत्ता मेरेन जे पॅसेंजर ते कशे गेले मागीर तांकां
काय सांगता येयना ते दुसरो
मकबूल मगलियानी फॉर हेरल्ड टीवी.
Chikali bio-crusaders have revived the age-old art of parkone or riddles. The riddles are posed in a simple sentence in a poetically quizzical form which can leave a person foxed. It is a part of the verbal cultural heritage of Goa. Till date, 34 riddles have been posed. This year, the riddles are posed by theatre and theatre personalities. One has to dial a phone number to get the parkone and participate in the contest and win prizes.
Chikali bio-crusaders have revived the old art of parkone or riddles. This year, the riddles are posed by theatre and theatre personalities. One has to dial a phone number to get the parkone and participate in the contest and win prizes.
आम्ही चिखले गांवचे
आनी चिखलेकारांनी तुमकां गोंयकारां मुखार एक स्पर्धा घडोवन हाडल्या. स्पर्धेचें नांव पारकोणें कितें तें सांग. आनी ह्या स्पर्धेंत आमी 50 पारकोणी तुमचे मुखार दवरपाचे आहा. आख्ख्या गोंयच्या गोंयकारांनी तशेंच संवसारभर शिंपडलेल्या गोंयच्या भाव भयणांनी हे स्पर्धेंत भाग घेवन ही 50 पारकोण्याचो जबाब दिवचो. सगळ्यांत चड जबाब दिता ताका एक सिल्वर ट्रॉफी दवरलेली आहा. बाब C.G. वार्के IRS हाच्या नांवान ताचे फॅमिलीन स्पॉन्सर केल्ली आहा. प्लस 5,000 रुपीज तुमच्यांनी जिखो जाता. तशेंच 5 रनर्सअपाक 1,000 नकद रुपया बाब नॉर्मन नोरोना कुवेतच्यान ताणें स्पॉन्सर केल्लो आहा. आमकां तशेंच सपोर्ट करतात निर्वाणा, गोवा चित्रा, डिजिटल ड्रॉप आनीक अलर्ट गोवन्स हे संस्था ज्यो आमकां पारकोणी सगळे संवसारभर पावोवपाक आदार दिता. तर तुमी मुखार सरा ही 50 पारकोणीच्या जबाब दियात. बरे बरे तियात्रिस्तांनी फामाद गोंयच्या कलाकारांनी भुरग्यांनी इस्कॉलाच्या भुरग्यांनी तरणाट्यांनी जाणट्यांनी ही पारकोणी तुमच्या मुखार दवरलेली आसात. एकान एक पारकोणे तुमकां चिकाली बाय क्रुसेडर्स ह्या फेसबूक पेजीचेर तुमकां मेळटली. ना जाल्यार हे सकयल दिल्ल्या नंबरांचेर तुमच्यांनी कॉन्टॅक्ट करूं जाता. 50 पारकोण्याची जाणवाय घेवपा जाता आनी इंचून काडून गिन्यान उजार करून तकली होरपून ही पारकोण्याचे जबाब दियात. चडांत चड तुमकां देव बरें करूं.
तुम्ही सगळ्यांनी पारकोणी शिकची आनी दुसऱ्यांकूय शिकोवची. तुमकां सगळ्यांक देव बरें करूं म्हणटा जाणी आमकां पारकोणी धाडली आनी ह्या वर्साचे स्पर्धा फुलोय. तुमकांय देव बरें करूं म्हणटा जाणी ह्या वर्साचे स्पर्धेंत बरो भाग घेतलो. चल आतां हांव तुमकां पारकोणे घालता. हांसो नाकाय हा, पूण ताचो अर्थ सांगात आनी जबाब दियात. म्हजे पारकोणे अशें बोक उक्ते घालून फेस्ताक वयतात. कितें तें सांग. परतून एकदां सांगता. बोक उक्ते घालून फेस्ताक वयतात. कितें तें सांग.
Ferry Fernandez for Herald TV.
Chain snatchers on the prowl in Lothli. 2 separate incidents of chain snatching were reported at Lothli on Friday and Saturday. One near Dreamland restaurant on Saturday, while the other incident was reported behind the post office on Friday. The incident took place in a broad daylight while 2 women were walking on the road on Saturday. The incident has left the one victim, Flora, traumatized. An unidentified person riding an Aprilia bike is suspected to be the thief, and his movement was recorded on a CCTV camera.
2 separate incidents of chain snatching were reported at Lothli on Friday and Saturday. The incident took place in broad daylight while the women were walking on the road. An unidentified person riding a scooter is suspected to be the thief, and his movement was recorded on a CCTV camera.
किती झाले कितल्या सुमार झाले 9:15 किती झाले
9:10
होय
सोरपोळी काढली न्हू
तुगे सोरपोळी काढली
तेजी काढली
तेजी ओके तुमी तेका चोयला कोण कितें तो
सारको चोवंक मेळोंक ना आमकां पण आमकां उडोवपाचो तो
ओके तुमी खंयची
आमी
केडशी ओके आतां पुलीस कंप्लेंट केला न्ही
हय
ओके ओके तुमी कितें सांगपा आहा मातशें
सांगपाक आमकडे कांय ना रे बाबा कितें म्हणपा आमी सारकी भिल्लोली आहा
ओके ओके तेजें नांव कितें
तेजें नांव फ्लोरा
फ्लोरा तेगे चेन मारल्या न्ही
तेगे चेन मारल्या.
Sagun Gowdy for Herald TV.
After close to 2 months, the government managed to install and put into operation an AC chiller at the main auditorium at Ravindra Bhavan Margaon, much to the relief of theatrists and theatre lovers. The new AC chiller cost around rupees 23 lakhs. On August 19, of the 2 chillers, one was damaged beyond repair. To avoid any backlash from the audience, the auditorium was temporarily closed.
Theatre lovers can breathe easy as Ravindra Bhavan Margaon gets brand new AC chiller. The government managed to install and put into operation an AC chiller at the main auditorium at Ravindra Bhavan Margaon. Their new AC chiller costs around rupees 23 lakh.
रवींद्र भवन मडगांव बरोच कितले दिसापासून एक चिलराचो विशय आशिल्लो. इमिडिएटली ह्या चिलराचें काम सुरू करून आज आमी रितसर तेजें उद्घाटन केल्लें आसा. तेजी कॅपेसिटी 60 TR आनी वट्ट 23 लाख रुपये खर्च करून हो नवो चिलर आज आमी बसयलेलो आसा. ताका जोडूनच आमी एक दुसरो जो चिलर जो आशिल्लो तो रिपेर करपाचो आनी एक स्टँड बाय सुद्दां चिलर आमी दवरपाचो ठरलेलो आसा. मुखार रवींद्र भवनाक चिलिंगाचो जो विशय जो आसा तो जावपाक जायना म्हणून सरकारान ही ताबडतोब ही पावलां मारिल्लीं आसा. मडगांवचें रवींद्र भवन हे खूब तातूंत भितर वेगळ्यो रंगरंगाळ्यो कार्यक्रमी जातात आणि म्हणूनच तियात्रिस्ट भाव म्हणू नाकात, नाट्य कलावरचे भाव म्हणू नाकात किंवा म्युझीक सेक्टराचे आमचे म्युझिशियन म्हणू नाकात, ताका कसलोच तरेचो प्रॉब्लेम जावपाक जायना म्हणून आज तातडीन आमी हेजो मेंटेनन्स घेतिल्लो आसा. म्हाका एक खबर आसा बरेचशे विशय सुद्दां ह्या रवींद्र भवना कडेन निगडीत आसात आणि मुखावेली सुद्दां जी कामां जी आसात ती जाता तितले बेगीन सुरू करून हे रवींद्र भवन आसा तशें परत सुसज्ज करपाची म्हजी तयारी आसा.
Aditya Bidre for Herald TV.
Augustia Sporting Club defeated host FC Tuve 8-7 via sudden death penalties to sail into the quarterfinals in the FC Tuve Champions Trophy. The tournament is organized by FC Tuve in association with CAM Group of Companies at Directorate of Sports and Youth Affairs Ground, Tuve.
Augustia Sporting Club defeated host FC Tuve 8-7 via sudden death penalty to sail into the quarterfinals in the FC Tuve Champions Trophy. In an evenly fought encounter, the teams were blocked goalless at the end of regulation time. In the 14th minute, FC Tuve's Siddha Mandrekar dribbled past a couple of Augustia's defenders and sent across to Stapleton Fernandes, who missed a goal. In the 21st minute, FC Tuve's Dietmar's free kick was headed just over the crossbar by Stapleton. Post-resumption, Sandesh Sawant's powerful shot went just above Augustia's crossbar. With the match ending goalless, penalty kicks were enforced. Joyson, Akash, Harsh, Suraj, Rupesh, Sanat, Rohan and Mohammad scored for Augusta, while Stapleton, Nihal, Jordan, Shashank, Brian, Sandesh, Dietmar were on target for FC Tuve. Inasya Narona for Herald TV.
High Court of Bombay at Goa has rejected the petitions made by Goa mining companies against the government's order asking them to vacate the leases on which they are operated. This is pursuant to the Supreme Court order of October 13, 2020, giving 3 months to mining companies to take away their machinery and belongings and invoke lease takeover provisions. The deadline for vacating by January 31, 2021 was missed. The government issued an order on May 4, 2022, asking the leaseholders to move their machinery by August 4, 2022.
The High Court of Bombay at Goa has rejected the petitions made by the Goa mining companies against the government's order asking them to vacate their leases on which they operated. This is pursuant to the Supreme Court order of October 13, 2020, giving 3 months to mining companies to take away their machinery and belongings and invoke lease takeover provisions. The deadline for vacating by January 31, 2021 was missed. The government issued an order on May 4, 2022, asking the leaseholders to move their machinery by August 4, 2022. Then Goa Foundation moved to the High Court after the first deadline, seeking directions from the Goa government to issue orders to the leaseholders to abide by the Supreme Court order of October 13, 2020. The mining companies were trying to prevent the auctions from taking place and were doing all they could to stop moving out of the leases, said Claude Alvarez, the director of Goa Foundation, to Herald.
तांकां जे वेकेट कर म्हणून 12GG ची नोटीस दिल्ली आनी 12HS ची नोटीस दिल्ली ती तांणी चॅलेंज केल्ली. ती पिटिशन आज हायकोर्टान डिसमीस केल्ली आनी ही आतां पिटिशनां डिसमीस जाल्ल्या कारणान आमचो जो ऑक्शन प्रोसेस सुरू जाला तो आतां कंटिन्यू उरतलो आनी ताका लागून आमचें जें मायनींग बेगीन सुरू करपाचें जो आमचो मुद्दो आसा आनी आमचें जें इंटेंशन आसा ताचो मार्ग आमचो मोकळो जाला हें मायनींग सुरू जावपाचें. ह्या निर्णया लागून आतां ही मायनींग ऑक्शन जें जावपाचें आसा पळय हे प्रोसेस सामको आतां फास्ट जातलो. फटाफट बाकीच्यो मायनींग ज्यो मायन्स आसा पळय ताजी ऑक्शनां सुरू जातलीं आनी मायनींग कॉर्पोरेशन आसा पळय त्या संबंदी सुद्दां हे ज्यो गोश्टी आसा पळय न्ही फुडें सरकार ताज्या विशयी कितें डिसिजन आसा जावं योजना कितें आसा सरकाराच्यो त्यो आतां मोकळ्यापणान सरकार आपूण त्यो ज्यो योजना आसा पळय न्ही त्यो फुडें व्हरूंक शकता. प्रत्येक मनशाक रायट आसा अपील करपाचें सुप्रीम कोर्टान, त्या बद्दल दुबाव ना. पण म्हाका दिसना तांकां आनी कितें केस उरल्या कशी, कारण की सुप्रीम कोर्टान ऑलरेडी हो इशू डिसायड जाल्लो आसा की गोंयांतली लिजी सोंपल्या आनी तो एकदां गोवा फावंडेशन 1 आणि गोवा फाउंडेशन 2 हे जे जजमेंट आसा तातूंत सुप्रीम कोर्टान ऑलरेडी म्हटलां की ही लिजां सोंपल्या म्हणून. सो म्हाका दिसना आनी कितें तांकां स्कोप उरला कसो, पण बरोबर आसा, तांकां रायट आसा सुप्रीम कोर्टान.
Bureau Report, Herald TV.
Recently, residents of Valpai and Satri demanded the government grant them full ownership of Gauthan and Alvara land in a Class A category. Now, on Friday, a joint meeting was held by the Revenue Department, local MLA, collector and other officials in this regard. Revenue Minister has directed the collector, deputy collector and the Mamladars to fast-track their works and solve this issue.
We had called for two months back. This is regarding as far as Alvara land is concerned in her constituency, hers and Vishwish's constituency. This was a review meeting, which that issue has been pending for quite some time. So what is it? No, it is regarding regularization of theirs to get them the class 2 status.
Outcome of this meeting? So what is the outcome?
Outcome of the meeting is that we have already directed the collector and the deputy collector and the Mamladar to go through all these cases, and they will get back to us with the final.
So how many cases are there?
There are more than 1,000 cases. In both the constituencies.
Sir, Tourism Minister Rohan Gaude yesterday raised the issue that near Marriott Hotel illegal water sports is going on. How do you see this?
See, that is the job of the captain of ports, in fact, because captain of the ports give them the permission to fly this vessel. So they should take action if there is anything illegal it is going on.
As the Honorable Minister our meeting actually, because जेन्नाच्यान आमी ते issue raise केला assembly regarding आमचे Alvara land issues and encroacher land issues. Our proactive Honorable Minister has been immediately had a meeting that time, and he said we'll try to solve and help our people. So he has like anek meeting. I think this is our third meeting, and so he's instructed the collector and the deputy collectors and the Mamladars to start working on it. की जातले begin सगळे cases segregate करून how to sort this issue which is going on for years and years, generations म्हणतात तशें, and we'll just try to regularize and give ownership to the people.
Deadline बी set केल्ले आसा कित्याक खूब वर्सां जालीं pending आसा.
हय डेडलायन कित्याक आमी जाता तितले बेगीन हें सॉल्व इश्यू कित्याक पयलीं तांचो रेकॉर्ड सारको आसपा जाय which is not in place. So आमचे मामलेदार आनी डेप्युटी कलेक्टर will work on it, सत्तरी मामलेदार आनी डेप्युटी कलेक्टर, and he will segregate the cases because
Two cars were involved in an accident at the newly constructed Missing Link Road on Lothli Highway on Thursday morning, the cause being bad roads. The accident victims alleged that the road was haphazardly repaired by putting tar and covering it up with cement, which was 4 inches above the road level. Instead of putting up barricade or reflectors at the site, plants were put as a warning sign, thus making it impossible for commuters to foresee the bump on the road. The accident victims held the government and the contractor was liable for the faulty roads that led to the accident, which could have been fatal.
Bad roads led to an accident between two cars at the newly constructed Missing Link Road. The accident victims alleged that the road was haphazardly repaired by putting tar and covering it up with cement. Plants were put up as a warning sign, thus making it impossible for commuters to foresee the bump on the road. The accident victims held the government and the contractor liable for the faulty roads that led to the accident.
सिमेंट घातला ते रस्त्यार सिमेंट घातला कित्याक घातला हांगासर हे पयलीं रस्तो नेमला मातसो मीन्स डांबर गेला रिसंटली रस्तो केल्लो आसा तो डांबर गेला आनी ते डांबर भरपा खातीर तेणी ते सिमेंट घातला बेश्टे वयल्या वयर घातला आनी ते सिमेंट ऑलमोस्ट 4 इंच वयर आसा आनी ते आतां टायमार खंयचे घातला तिसांच्या टायमार घातला ऑलमोस्ट 6:15 to 6:30 बिटवीन घातला ते आतां ते लोकांक आतां गाडयो थंयच्यान वचता न्ही राजे घातला न्ही आतां ते मागीर खडबडीत जातलें म्हणून थंय फक्त एक बेश्टे सुको ग्रास आसता न्ही हो सुको ग्रास तो फुडें मुखार घातला कळ्ळें न्ही ते रातचे बाबा ते कितें आसा ते कांय कळना लाकूड दवरला कितें दवरला बाबा कोण मेला थंय आनी कोण पडला थंय ते कांयच कळना
हे आतां तुमकां जाला तुमच्या पयलीं 2 गाडयांक खंय त्रास जावन खंय तेणी डिवायडरां लावन गेले 2 गाडयो तुज्या फाटल्यान तुमकां तेणे आतां तुमची दुसरे गाडयेक मोकली.
हय हांव तर रावलो सवका येतालो सवका येवन सुद्दां पळय तें अशें आसता तें दिसत ना तें दोळे मुखार सामकें इतलें आनी तें रावन हांव रावलो आनी फाटल्यान म्हाका गाडी
मोकली.
हय आनी गाडी मोकल्या आनी म्हाजें डॅमेज कशें जालां आनी गाडी मोकून तेणी म्हाका कमीत कमी 10 मिटर सुमार हांव फुडें पावला.
Destroying our government and peace of mind. Complain, guy na complain am naka. What are you doing? Complain jai. Let PWD is one party. PWD should know what is going on. Should do their job. No, that's what. At least put a reflector, right? Reflector at least. Leaves can be seen by anyone. Just half an hour. Anybody can see this on speeds is my question.
आयज हांगा 2 एक्सिडेंट जाल्ले. काल एक्सिडेंट जाल्लो म्हणून आयज हांगा हे घातलेलें सिमेंट घातलेलें आनी सिमेंट घातल्या कारणान आनीक 2 एक्सिडेंट जाला हांगा.
सिमेंट घातला म्हणून.
सिमेंट घातला म्हणून.
कितल्यो गाडयो डॅमेज जाल्या?
2 गाडयो हांगा डॅमेज जाला आनी 100 मिटराचे कडेन आनीक डॅमेज जाल्ले.
ओके म्हणजे तुमी म्हणूंक सोदता की जे PWD जे काम केलां तें सामकें ना.
सिमेंट हांगा घालप न्हू आशिल्लें म्हणल्यार एटलिस्ट हे घालपाक दामोर हाडून परत घालपाक येयल्लो. हे घालता ते तुमी चुकीचें करता ते आनी सिटीजनाक आमच्या गोंयच्या सिटीजनाक खूब त्रास जाता.
वो न्यू रोड न्ही मिसिंग लिंक म्हणटा तो न्यू रोड केल्लो न्ही
हालींच केला जे 1 वर सुद्दां जावनासतलें म्हणजे ओपन केल्लेल्याक हेच्या पयलीं बांदलेलो तो. तर हे अशें आमचे टॅक्सपेयराचो मनी असो वेस्ट करता हें आमकां पळोवपाक एक रॉंग शें दिसता की हो रोड हालीं 1 वर सुद्दां यूजाक ना आनी अशें डॅमेज जाता म्हणून.
ओके आनी तुमी कितें हेका PWD मिनिस्टराक कितें मेसेज दिवपाक सोदता?
आमकां PWD मिनिस्टराक सांगूंक सोदता की बाबा हे बेगीचे बेगीन सारको हे सिस्टमॅटीक करचें कित्याक कारण लोकांक कशें आनी कडेन एक्सिडेंट जायत आसा म्हणून.
अशें आयकूं येता की PWD मिनिस्टर जो आसा पळय ताणें हांगा प्रॉपर्टी बी घेतल्या म्हणून त्या रोडा वयल्यान.
तेजे हांगातला नियर बाय प्रॉपर्टी आसा.
पेट्रोल पंप येवपाचो. ओके सो ही गरज हे त्रास कोणाक जाता?
त्रास चडशे आमचे गोंयकारांकूच अशें कोण हांगसान वेर्ना टू हांगा जे वयता पळय तांकां त्रास जाता.
ओके चड डॅमेज जाल्या कोणाक?
चड डॅमेज म्हणल्यार तांकां मातशें मेजर डॅमेज आसा तशें तुमी पळोवपाक शकता.
ओके हे ना पेट्रोल ना फकत गाडयांकूच जाल्या न्ही.
Sagun Gowde for Herald TV.
That's all we have in today's news bulletin. Thanks for watching Herald TV News. For more news alerts, please follow us on Heraldo on Facebook and Twitter. Take care and goodbye.